Wait, are you in the
Where do you
U.S.?
live? But no, I'm in Korea, but
Oh,
it's
damn.
still
Okay.
hot as hell here.
Yeah, I'm from Arkansas, if you know where that's at. But
Yeah.
I'm in North Carolina right now. I'm in the army, so I'm just
Oh, cool. So is it like a dorm?
might as well be just really really shitty dorms. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What kind of army are you in?
What kind of what now?
Army? Is
Uh,
it just like?
I'm in the U.S. Army, but I mean I'm in the well, technically I'm in a special operations unit. I'm a paramedic
Oh, okay.
for a civil affairs team. We go out and like do stuff in like
Mm,
little four-man squads. It's interesting.
cool.
Yeah, I guess. I'm trying to screen share with. Oh, here it is. Yeah, yeah, entire screen. Can you see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Or would it be better if I sent it to you? And how would I go about that? Or would this be fun?
Depends on what kind of VOD you have. Is it like a
A
place
replay?
TV or?
Could be a replay.
Oh, then I think we can just do it by the replay system
Okay.
for now. I
I
think.
don't think you can add me in client because you're in Korean server unless you have a US
Hmm.
or an NA account.
Hmm. Wait, can let me see. Can I download someone else's VOD if I have the client? Oh, I actually can. Okay, next time I'm probably gonna have to download NA client or something and the U.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's
for
fine.
now, we can just do it this way.
Okay. Cool. I was hate doing it this way because when I hit D4 was my peak rank and I had to like free coaching stuff for a while, but I haven't actually been D4 in like 6 months now, so I kind of stopped doing that until I climb again. And when people like screen share with me and shit, they're always basically just like stopping at the wrong time. I'm like, no, no, go back and go forward. And just stupid shit. I don't know. It's just fucking hectic and like streaming and coaching takes away so much time from my solo queue growth. I find myself like never watching Apto anymore, never watching LS anymore. I'm just like tell myself I just gotta fucking like actually get good at the game. Not that I was ever good, but you know.
Wait, so you don't prefer like stopping at certain places, or?
No, no, it's just like they always just like don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh, you should have placed the word here. They're like, oh, fix the bush. Like, no, no, here, like right where the river meets and shit. It's just like small little nuances that'll take like an extra 30, 45 seconds to figure out. That's like, you know.
Oh,
But I mean, I just coach like the silvers for the
30
one or two
seconds
high
until
low
minions
individuals that
spawn.
have made their way to me. Just let me know like what you want to see and where you want to stop and shit. I think Kindred DC's a few times here, but that probably isn't really applicable.
mm.
Minions have
Okay, let me
spawned.
see your LP. Strange that. Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
What's up?
I was gonna say that usually in this matchup, Vel'Koz goes W level one and tries to shove
Yeah.
Viper in 24/7, and this guy got two, so that was the awkward part.
Yeah, this guy was kind of an animal. Not that I'm like much better, but I didn't open anything because I didn't know what he opened. If he had
Hmm.
opened W, then I might have elected to open E to like
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
yeah,
say. That's
but
a pretty
I
big
didn't see what he
response.
opened, so I just like held it, and then he opened Q, so I opened Q.
Mm.
I think a lot of Vel'Kozes are getting like this syndrome because it got a slight buff, so like, oh, we have to open Q every time. I don't know.
is there a reason why you're playing Victor all of a sudden? Because it didn't seem like it was your primary mid champ like throughout the season, but there was a lot of games like that you got.
Um, okay, so yeah, I guess just pause and explain that for a moment. I underwent a lot of stuff. Went through a divorce, 3 concussions, deployment, and
Mm-hmm.
so like custody battle with kids. Anyways, there was a lot of life implications there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I fell, and I've been permabanned 11 times. I think most recent it's been quite some time, and I'm like basically don't ever chat my games anymore, and I don't ever get like in game bans or whatever. Um, my last one, I had a guy run down in my diamond promos, and so I said cut your fucking hands off, and just the one line got me permaed, and so now I have this account,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't play Yasuo or anything else that might reflect on OP.GG. I literally play Victor, Syndra, Mouse, I think Kale. Um, everything in like the last like 2 or 3 weeks, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Okay. Wait, so you don't play Yasuo anymore because of that reason?
No, I've never played Yasuo, period.
Oh, so this isn't your account technically?
Well, I mean, I guess if you, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I got permit off of my Plat 2 account, which had more MMR than this one did, so I was just saving myself time.
Hmm.
Not that I necessarily approve of that, but I mean, it is
How
what it is.
how old are you, by the way?
24.
Oh, wait, and I think I've heard that not only do you have kids.
I have a daughter, yeah.
Oh, okay, so you're like a life senpai to me.
Wait, say what?
You've been through you've experienced more.
Yeah.
I thought because you said you were like divorcing. I think I heard the word custody in there, so I might have thought you were in like your 30s or something. But 24, that's
I had
okay.
a early start that probably should have waited. But
Hmm.
I mean, things are what they are, and I tried to make the most of the situation, and it didn't necessarily work out, so we're here.
Okay.
But yeah, oh, that's the story behind that, I guess. I actually don't know why I'm hugging the left pocket here. Lee is like clearly coming after it at this time. Like I don't get punished for it, but
Mm-hmm.
I think I got lucky.
Uh, there's like a discrepancy between how fast and how not only how fast your mouse is, but how you plan out your plays like right before you trade and how you CS.
Wait, okay, so say that again.
So right before when you're about to go like a trade, you sort of expect him to use skill at this time, you dodge this way, and then you use your skills like in a much better fashion. But I don't see that type of sort of attitude while you're CSing. It's sort of less planned out, and also priority like personal priorities in lane as any sort of laner should be CS over trade.
Yeah, biggest gold value. The trade is like a
Yeah,
coin flip, most more than
so
less.
the best scenario is out trading him while you're out CSing him, but people kind of tend to focus on trading more.
Yeah, I
It's not like
no, go ahead.
it's it's not like as bad as your. It's sure it's good to out trade him because he'll gonna go to base earlier and it's gonna be there's only gonna be a slight CS differential, but it's always better to prioritize CS over trades. Usually that has to be the premise, and then you have to find the best possible spots to trade while you're CSing perfectly, basically,
Right.
unless it's like an absolute secured kill.
Yeah, I find myself having trouble focusing on my position, his position, my minion health, their minion health, my jungler, and then his jungler. I try to like juggle those 6 things mentally, and what I
Mhm.
typically end up dropping is the CS. It's like like
Mhm.
a clown juggling balls, and I'm just like, oh shit, I guess that one rolled away.
Mhm.
So yeah, I know.
Like kind of in that like ladder of your priorities, it should be basically at the top.
At the very top.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. And the circus.
Not only this, I mean, I don't. You're probably gonna live off this, so like, besides even watching this part, this whole situation was okay. Maybe it's not.
We gotta turn the sound down. Unless you really enjoy the cinematics.
I mean, I can't hear the sound anyway. So,
Okay.
like oh, okay. This whole scenario was sort of unnecessary. Could you go back to when you were zoning him off when the enemy had one more melee minion? It's like the start of the trade. And you press O. Pretty sure Vel'Koz didn't have any pots, or unless he wouldn't be standing this way. Wait, it doesn't have any pots.
Yeah.
And you have one more pot left. So why walk up this way, get hit by like 4 minion autos, and sort of unnecessarily try to harass, which started a trade. You could have just left that melee minion to die without queuing it, and it would have been a perma push toward. It would have been like a slow freeze towards your lane, and he would have had to back, or Lee Sin would have had to come to mid
And like escort the
to
wave
clear
up.
that wave in.
Yeah.
So although, as a result, your team kind of went out, but that was extremely random, and bot lane had to like blow all something off.
But I
But
was, like you're definitely right. Like I didn't have to take this trade. What I saw right here was like the ease on cooldown. He was
mhm.
at a health deficit. I can almost auto attack him to death from this health, given how far he is from turret if he doesn't barrier or flash. And so I was trying to force the flash for ghost, which is like really like good, but I didn't need to do this anyway, I think.
So if you, so what happened in your scenario is what happened right now as a result, and that's like a neutral for both sides basically. But if you just held the lane there and freeze it, it would have been
A
a
huge
positive for
advantage.
you and a negative for them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Because Lee Sin coming mid anyways means that I take his pressure off the map.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I'm going ×2. Not bad. Unless you would prefer that.
In like sort of scale situations, doesn't matter as much. I'll tell you that.
This was actually some kind of frame drop, me walking in a turret like that. I don't know what that was.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like once a game I rubber band somehow. I think, oh wait, what was that? That's weird.
It's pretty interesting that like a lot of uh like basically LS viewers have way higher APM average than normal people, but I want to say that's not necessarily a good thing
Yeah, if
for
you
most
don't like
people.
equate it out, it's really bad. My how does it sound? That's not saying like sounding like a complete fucking wash up. I need like some Adderall or something because I can't focus. And
Like that?
I'm trying to get that fixed. And so in the meantime, I'm just like trying to do what I can to compensate and just like go through the fucking daily life. The third concussion hit me pretty hard, but it used to be a lot higher, and I used to utilize the information a lot more. And I'm trying to get that. I don't care about some arbitrary like number that says I press buttons more often during the game. I've never really cared about that, but I do care about like gathering information in an advantageous way. But, like I know you can't
Mm.
see it on this VOD, but when I'm in lane, I'm constantly F keying. Like I think I missed a minion earlier, arbitrarily while I was F keying,
Hmm.
which is bad, but I don't know.
A summoner has disconnected.
You keep dodging left side, which is pretty awkward too.
It's
When you're
bad.
dodging the Valkyrie Q,
Hmm.
you could just choose to stand towards the minion instead of walking away from it.
You mean like body block? Like have the
Yeah,
minion in between?
in between the Q and you,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
because he always casted it left side, and basically Vel'Koz's missed. I can't really say that you dodged it like purposely, although you had intention to. The situation was sort of that Vel'Koz just kind of missed.
Yeah, he fucked it up
If
more
you
than I played
dodged
it
right
well.
side, then you would have dodged it with a minion. But
Yeah, it's
if you
fair.
dodge left side, it's more so him not hitting you rather than you dodging it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a more better way.
Yeah. I still face tank the E, but I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Mhm.
A summoner has reconnected.
Like even just now, kind of. I mean, it's not the same scenario because it wasn't in range technically, but it's much more. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah. It's to a certain degree, at some point I was expecting him to throw it right centric, and so I started continuing to play on the left, and I was like, this monkey is literally throwing it left every single time. And yeah, I think it was right there that I realized that I was like I say, obviously not that I'm any better. I keep dodging to the left, even though he keeps throwing it to the left, but it's kind of interesting sometimes. It's like trying to track low elo jungler pathing. Kind of like gives me a
Hmm.
headache.
Kind of wonder, like, I mean, you basically have to be typing, or maybe you have some
I
like
don't type.
IRL other.
I'm looking at top.
Oh, okay.
I'm F king.
Killing spree.
Yeah, I don't type at all in games. I might as well just remove my chat at this point.
Because you said that, and there were like pauses in your champion, so I was like wondering what was going on.
Yeah. Set that minion up. You can hear him looking at bottom.
Pretty sure you have so much gold on that.
Killing spree.
Yeah, I think I'm waiting for full hex score. I guess he's not pressuring me. was like really sloppy.
I mean, one, the reaction timing was pretty bad, and
Yeah,
also I think
this.
okay,
Yeah, I don't know about that. So I guess here. I'll go back and talk about it. Yeah, right here. All right, so here I'm looking right here, and I'm
hmm
like, pretty sure. Yeah, he just stepped out of the bush, but he's not. Is he in my vision? Yeah. Um, yeah, he's not in my vision, and so I'm looking right here. I'm like, how am I
hmm
gonna play this fight? Okay, well I have the blasting plant. I'm gonna walk over to the blasting plant, and like my camera's like this, and so I'm like clicking right here.
hmm
And so I'm just trying to like gauge how I'm gonna walk into this. Then I go right here. Like, okay, oh shit, wait a second, he's here. This part.
right before you cue him, and right before he flashes after stopwatching, let me see how much mana you have and how much mana it costs for each thing. Okay, perfect. Right now, right now. Okay, 206. I think you can just flash over and kill both of them. Wouldn't you say?
I have flasher.
Yeah,
Fuck me. Do I have flasher?
yeah, because you use
No
flash
way.
like later on,
What the? Wow.
or alternatively, if you prepped it right, you could have used the blasting cone to go over it.
I
But
mean,
that's
for
like
God's sakes, I
pretty.
could have used a dragon to kill enough. I could have done literally a million things different
Yeah, but the alternative, what happens is, let's see where you use your
here.
flash.
Well, this is interesting. I'm like, okay, I'm on the wall, and we're not. Okay. And we're back to farming.
Mhm.
Not farming. Fuck me. God damn it, I didn't think I had flash. Oh god, it actually feels so fucking bad. This is actually a decent game too. I wasn't like completely zoned out.
Hmm.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I think it's extremely minor, but the W placement could have been like way more into the future, kind of like more forward placement.
Yeah, after I did this, I jokingly like laughed to myself. Victor W range cast buff, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, I actually didn't expect him to skirt around the right hand side. I like played into thinking that he was bad and didn't, and he like had to do something based off of him being bad when in reality he doesn't have to.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm waiting one more wave so I can get my swords, I think.
Mm.
Blue team's turret has been
I mean,
destroyed.
it's hard to maintain vision that you get with Victor, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword kind of thing. But I don't know. I think this is the first time I've seen a pink in your inventory.
Yeah, I think early game I honestly threw this combo so jungler wouldn't flame. Um, it was like Lee Sin's kind of low, maybe to do more damage. He can't like jungle or something, whatever. Early game in games like this where I'm not like actually getting fed, which you don't like really expect on Victor, I
Mm-hmm.
prioritize my gold value for my hex core upgrades, and then once I've
Mm-hmm.
had that, then I try to go for pink.
Shut down.
Because I mean, with a 1250 cost, buying just even two pink wards before you have upgraded hex core can put you behind pretty significantly. Or at least
That's
that's
like
my
sort of
logic.
the primary reason of why people don't play Victor
Mhm.
anymore.
Mhm.
It should be a okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's okay. I didn't really agree with that killing him. To be completely honest. Um, this is one of the few champions I can actually press buttons on. I have a lot of like numbness in my hands, and I can't really feel a lot of the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
So I like try to branch out the champions. This is why you see me play with stuff like Kale and Malzahar and just gold load on my
I
OP.GG and
mean,
just like win
judging
by.
by how you click this game, I don't see any like.
I
Not
can't
sure if
do this on a.
visibility is
I
different, but
I
like.
know I can't do this on any other champion though. It's almost like a mental fucking block. Like I do have numbness in my
Probably.
hands. I have numbness in
Uh-huh.
my hands and shit, but that obviously doesn't affect me like clicking on Victor. So
Uh-huh.
why should avatar control change based off the avatar that I'm controlling? It should. That makes no fucking sense. Like, it's got to be a
Mm-hmm.
mental block. Like I have 4,000 games on Victor, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like pretty comfortable with the champion, but that shouldn't really matter. It really shouldn't.
Mm. Flash was kind of necessary, but
Red team's
other
turret
than
has
that,
been
pretty much
destroyed.
everything is okay.
Yeah, I just knew he was fed and had shut down gold, and I didn't want to give it to him. I think it's also kind of like a pride thing.
That's actually pretty like a like a sort of awkward situation because I was gonna say your average mechanics in general are pretty good, like altogether, and if you could just use like this mechanic on other champions besides Victor, it would be much more easier for you to climb because you already said that we've already established that like buying pinks or whatnot and Victor not having any pressure early game is gonna like sort of fuck up with the
Yeah, a lot of games I lose because Victor
yeah
like literally offers nothing to early game skirmishes, like scuttle fights, nothing.
scuttle fights, jungler 2v2s, like all that
Infernals.
stuff. So that's I'm not sure how to
No,
make
it's
that situation
part
happen.
of the problem too, man, is that when I climbed initially, it was on Victor, Zir, Rise, Cassiopeia,
Mm-hmm.
all like super mechanically intensive champions. Obviously, like all of those champions, besides debatably Cassio, are like way in the shitter right now, and so I'm kind of like
Mm-hmm.
in this really awkward situation to where I'm currently trying to branch out to other champions, but
Rise is kind of okay. I mean, he's not as like broken as he used to be, but he's
mm-hmm.
still okay, I think.
Like I can, I'm probably not like right meow if I jumped on a game, but if I had like 10 games of practice or 15 games of practice, kind of like get into character, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
I could like perform proficiently again on him. But it's just like it's just Victor's. Regardless, my reasoning is like Victor's a shitter champ right now, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not losing these games because Victor's a shitter champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is questionable.
Shut
Yeah,
down.
I was just trying to force him out because I saw they were all on dragon and I knew I was safe. My intent was to blow the flash with the ghost.
Hmm. I think your take is sort of because you're so ahead, you're trying to shove out the mid laner first. I mean, like, sort of harass him first and then go to side lane, but usually all you have to do is just shove in the wave and then uh, go to other lanes first rather than like pushing him out. All you have to do is shove in the wave. That alone is pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, so here this is like the hand thing. This is actually like a really legitimate. See, I can't auto. There's something like sometimes I just actually can't right click. I literally am like stuttering. Like this is what my mouse looks like right now. Like dot 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 dot. Like I'm trying to fucking click on her, but I actually can't. So I mean like, and then I basically just hard end trying to get the. I'm like, no, god damn it, I'm gonna get this fucking right click. So I just like hard end.
How is it like exactly? What happened? Like
Um,
physically?
yeah, so it was basically like pseudo hockey, like hockey with a small soccer ball and broom
Mm-hmm.
paddles with wedge shaped tips, and so it like myself and another muscular individual were competing for the ball, and I guess you could say he won. Although technically I won, the ball did go to his side, but either way, his hockey stick went to the front of my mouth. That had stitches, and it made it really difficult to do a lot of things after that.
It didn't do anything to your hand though.
No, no, the numbness and everything in my hand is just associated with the head injury. Literally,
Oh, okay.
it's not like I burned my hand or some stupid shit like that, or like actually.
When was the concussion?
Let's see, around what, a year ago. Hang on, I'm trying to think.
Oh, okay. So it's not
A
like
year and a half. Yeah, no. So I mean, most of the problems because it gave me really bad insomnia. That's been fixed. The like super bad depression has been fixed mostly, and then now it's just like literally trying to focus. Like, I mean, judge me how you want, but I'm literally like waking up in the morning, taking like 4 scoops of pre-workout, hitting the gym for 2 hours, and then going right into drinking 3 straight monsters. And after the third one, I feel like a normal human being. Like I can actually fucking focus. That's the reality of the situation. It's like when I'm good, but
hmm
it's just hard to get to that point. So I mean, there are some outside underlying factors, but to be completely honest, I think the reason I can't climb is because I'm trash. And trying to focus on that because you're not, well, as far as I understand, a doctor or able to like magically wave a wand and fix my hand problems.
No, I was trying to get a better understanding of like what was blocking you from normal people.
hmm Yeah, I just how to put it delicately, I don't want to sound like normal hard stuck plot trash to where I think that I'm better than I am. Like I'm pretty fully aware that I'm trash, but I'm actually trying to like take the right steps to improve.
Blue team triple kill.
I want to say by the time you guys won this team fight, I think it would have been because you guys have two ranged and also Zyra as well. This would have been a good Baron.
Yeah, I was just looking and I saw that Zillion was the only one that was alive. I got spam ping for this, so I just had to mute all pings. But my reasoning, I'm sure they were flaming me in chat too. But my reasoning is like, if they can't get Baron without me there, with the only one alive being Zillion, then I just
I
honestly
mean,
felt like my time was better utilizing salvaging bot lane turret and soaking up 3 waves of XP and gold.
one thing, if you wanted to go bottom, you had to push in the next wave because there was nobody to contest you shoving in that next wave. But not only that, it's not about whether they can do it or not without Zillion harassing them. It's because there's three range with no tanks, and they were all pretty low.
I was just thinking about Zyra Plant. Like, if it was a
Mm,
Malzahar as well, if it wasn't Zyra, then I probably would have gone. It's just
yeah, but
like,
I think it's pretty easy to establish that it's like if you go there, it's most likely 90 to 100% you guys get Baron. But if you go bottom, there's might be even the slightest like 70 to 80% of you guys getting Baron. But because of how Baron is overpowered right now in a way, all you guys have to do is just secure Baron, and this game would have most likely be over in your favor.
okay.
But situation maybe would have changed if all three of them were like really high HP and you guys had a Mountain Drake or any something, but
Okay.
because it wasn't that, I think the safer play was to just go Baron.
Alright, that's fair.
This game seems pretty over at this. Oh, it is actually over because I can see the replay time.
Yeah.
Mm, I mean, this is sort of like how I want to say overall you've played pretty okay. I mean, you out CS'd him by like 100, but that's also due to the fact that you took a lot of like what's his name, Kindred's camps and all that, and it's not like you mechanically played any situation sort of wrong, besides like really petty stuff. But for the most part, this has to do a lot with just the champion in general, because the game basically bot lane 2v2 won so hard that, and
Yeah.
also they were winning so hard so that they could have had the option to help you when you were being chased down all the way from mid to bot, and you were supposed to die to Lee if Jinx didn't heal you and all that kind of thing. So this game in specific, bot lane carried the game,
Yep.
and it's not
I
like you
agree.
did anything wrong, but you weren't able to do anything with how superior you were versus Vel'Koz because the champion limits you from doing anything unless you get like 2 items.
Yeah.
That's my sort
Which,
of overall
yeah.
take on this game.
I mean, he has a super, super high skill ceiling. I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about me playing TF?
I think TF's is like the perfect champion for solo queue. I know there's like a lot of people that agree with me with being like TF is like the perfect champion to learn mid in a way because he requires basically zero skill shots, and
Yep.
it's more about how you play the lane rather than how you mechanically play the lane. And he has an ulti that is broken as hell, especially in solo queue. So his whole kit is like perfect for learning mid lane in solo queue. I feel like.
Okay, so you think if I perform the same level I do at Victor, I know the question's like really vague, convoluted, and variable, but if I quote unquote perform the same as I do on Victor on TF, I would most likely see.
Would have a better chance of winning games.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, that's fair.
Anything else
Mm,
that you actually, from my part,
let's say what now?
I'm just trying to think if there were any other things during early and mid.
Yeah, so I know there's some stuff I need to like situationally improve on, like shoving a wave before the next caddy, but some that's like super dependent on me playing Victor, and I can't necessarily back just because I shoved the wave in caddy. And I mean, I don't know. Like overall, it's just like I'm so incredibly disgusted with my fucking performance.
Oh, in this game?
I mean, this game in general, yeah. I mean, like throughout my ob.gg. But yeah, this game basically like reflects. This is like an average of my game, of my gameplay.
Mm.
Sometimes I perform better than this. Sometimes I underperform this. But either way, like I've been playing League since fucking open beta, man. Like,
Oh, some priorities I think you have to change is you're playing mid lane like a top laner, if that makes sense. Like you're trying to just crush him 1v1 so hard that you're not prioritizing the utility of mid lane, which is roaming to either side. If you're winning lane, just shove him in and then use that like opening that you have to try to get vision or help roam other lanes. But I think you're usually, and it shows from like how you trade in the early game slow, how you prioritize trading over CSing. Is that
trying to get a health advantage so I can just basically stand in front of my minions and spam laugh.
hmm
Like not
so? I
like
think
toxic or anything. Just like just trying to like.
I think it's better to just so early laning phase usually CSing over trades, and that should and jungler's not always going to be around mid, so you don't have to like the what were the things that you said? The list of let's see, considering jungle pathing, CSing, trading. I guess these are the only three that you like all laners consider while they're in lane.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the six things. My position, his position. My minion's health, his minion's health. My jungler, his jungler.
Mm, but because it's like a my and you thing, so divided by two, that's like three things, and I think this is how the priority should be. Actually, no. I think this is much better.
Fuck is
Like CSing's first, and then comes where would the jungler be before I take this trade, and if you feel like you know for certain where the jungler is, or if he shows in the map, then you can trade. But you just sort of blindly trade.
that? Okay, so another super what if variable question that probably won't help me to ask, but if there's a strong early game jungler, I typically ward entrance to red side jungle so I can see if he's coming, and end up getting ganked from blue side. I had, I mean, literally like a Lisa and a Pantheon. I think a hacker am just straight blue to mid, and either blue is my flash. Or I mean, should I just like when there's high threat early game junglers and I'm against an even clearing enemy mid laner, just play in a way that's impossible for me to get ganked? I mean, is it more advantageous to just never be able to be ganked, or is it more advantageous to like play slightly on the edge and still oppress my enemy mid laner? Because I don't like giving people free passes. Like it's really difficult for me to like concede a lane and let like that Vel'Koz. I really just did not want to give him a free pass at like any possible opportunity. It's really difficult for me to concede punishing him in lane because I see that he's not, you know,
I
competent.
mean, you can tell which side the enemy jungler started from based on like uh the timing of which
It,
side lane arrives like late. It can be either bot or top. Like if bot comes to lane late, then you start bot side and all that.
yeah,
And if it's a level two gankable sort of champ, then start on the opposite side of where he came from. Like say bot lane came late and it's a Jarvan on the red side, then you should hug left side when you're on blue side. Does that make sense?
right. But given the variable that both the side lanes show up to the lanes at the same time.
I mean, there's not really a lot of comps that enable you to do that. Maybe like the Trundle or
Like what I'm pretty sure happened was their Garen waited outside of vision on top and then just entered his
Mhm.
lane when the bot lane entered lane. Like obviously he conceded level 2 priority and got fucking
And
demolished
what
by
was the
Darius.
jungler that
It was
did
a Pantheon.
solo buff and
He didn't solo buff. He got leash from ADCs and support, but the support and the top laner showed in lanes at the same time, and so I couldn't really tell where he had come from, and so I just
Mhm.
hugged near my red side ward and got ganked from blue side. I mean,
okay.
like I said, variable and super convoluted question, but if you don't have a good answer for it, then I can understand why.
It's I mean, besides those, I think besides level two cheese, and I mean, it's really vague to say that. You, I mean, I can usually, and I'm sure you can as well. It's really hard to be wrong about where the enemy jungler starts because, like, you can look at both side lanes, not only HP but like mana and all that.
Yeah,
Because
it's definitely
not,
something I didn't
not
do. If he had a Brand MF leash in my bot side, I'm almost sure that Brand would have thrown a spell. I didn't look.
hmm And if it's a level two champ, then hug the other side. Even if it's not, it's hugging other side is good for the most part. And then by the time he will be at the other side doing his other buff, stand on the right side. And then if you're
Yeah.
pushing, uh, ward the side that your jungler is near to, and then just hug that side sort of. Does
Okay.
that make sense? Like if your jungler's right side, actually no, I said it wrong. Hug hug the side that your jungler is pathing on at the moment, and then ward the other side, and then just ward on. Fuck. Let me wrap it on my head and then say it once. Let's see. Yeah, just ward on the side that your jungler is near to, and then just hug that side way away from the other side. It can be either right or left depending on what time it is, but
Okay.
all you have to do is just it doesn't even have to be the tri brush and the river brush. It can be just the brush right next to river, and that basically keeps you safe from a lot of the gangs. If that makes sense.
No, yeah. I mean, it really does. Big part of my problem is I just get like super egotistically wrapped up in how the fuck am I still in this elo type of like
Mm-hmm.
mentality. But I mean, all the stuff that you touched on, it's just basics. It just seems like I just need to continue to improve on the basics.
Mm, this and
Okay.
uh, this didn't happen a lot, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah, I've tried to avoid it a little more. Yeah, it's almost like
Because it's
griefing to a certain point because like you take
yeah,
where he's pathing to and it gets fucked.
because it's not like the season 4 or 5 mid laner takes everything, have 500 CS and carry it.
Yeah.
Jungle camps are usually for junglers only, like exclusively, because of how the XP works. Mm,
Yeah, that's fair.
an overall thing is just I'm not even gonna write it down, but I think you have above average mechanics that you can utilize much better if you just play other champs besides Victor. Because Victor just, as a champion in general, has a ceiling right now.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much he can do if the game goes to shit in the first 6 minutes or whatnot.
Yeah, that's true.
And even in late game, it's not like he does.
He's a god. He just literally has a mid
Yeah.
game power spike.
hmm Yeah, he's usually strong in mid game. Like
Yeah.
in late game, he's just he does some damage, but usually late game team fights are decided by CC,
Yeah.
not damage.
Hey, Gravfield W buff though. I mean, come
Hmm.
on now. Come on, coach.
I mean, isn't it like a 50 range
It was like a
buff or
50
something?
range buff. Yeah, it was literally like a
Yeah.
point 0.5 seconds of walking or some shit. Like a 335 movement speed tank.
Hmm.
Like lots of difference. Fuck me. Okay. All right. Well, guess I'll play like TF and Rise more.
Yeah, probably those in order. TF Rise Victor, because
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to like drop my mechanics on Victor, but I kind of want to drop him off for like Malzahar or something that I could just gold load on and then flash hard, like win a game. But I mean, I just don't know at this point, like when the next point Victor would be viable. I mean, I've been playing him for like 8 solid months and just barely, like scraping by performing really well in a champion that completely blows.
Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, were you born in '93? Or is that arbitrary?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, were you
No,
really?
it's 95.
So you're old.
We're
You're
the same
20.
age, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, you're older than I am by like 2 months. Shit. Wait, so you played? What all did you play in? I'm not trying to take too much of your time, but
What?
just
What?
like league,
I
like.
couldn't hear that part.
Oh, what part did you not hear?
Uh, After you said I'm like 2 months older than you or something.
Oh yeah, you're like 2 months older than me. I was just curious, like what all have you played in, like competitively? Cause I just follow LS. I just never really heard much about you until my
What
E.
all? I couldn't hear the.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure if I'm like.
I don't know if I'm cutting out. Hang on. Yeah, I mean it looks good on my end. No, I'm just saying, like, what all have you competed in competitively?
But there's this one word I can't seem to hear. There's what, and it sort of blurs out. And then have you completed and competitively? It's just one word. Oh, maybe I'm just like not understanding this sentence in general.
Maybe I don't know. I'm trying.
What all have I completed and competitively? I'm not.
So like
Yeah.
tourneys and like teams, stuff like that.
Oh, age-wise, I think I started playing competitively since season 4. But I didn't go into like actual games, like competitive games in season 4. I was like a trainee in season 4, and then I played in actual games since season 5, 6, 7, and then season 8 I haven't played yet.
You haven't played yet? Oh, you played solo queue though, right?
Yeah.
Um, is it too much to request your op.gg?
Right now it's, let me see. Wait, so you're born in February '94, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's actually really good, man. Nice. Oh, this is what you look like? This totally doesn't match your voice, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Which way?
I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't.
Mm.
It's not a bad way. It's definitely not a bad
No,
way.
okay.
Definitely not a bad way. Oh, well, cool. All right, well, I really appreciate the lesson. I learned a lot.
Mm.
If I was to schedule another session, is there an
Mhm.
amount of time between games that you would like to span? Like, obviously, a
Okay.
session like tomorrow might not be as beneficial as a session from a week now, but I don't know what your preference is.
I mean, that difference for everyone. I mean, I've had people do daily. I've had people do once a month, once a week. The most average for like most people is like once a week, but it depends on what you want mostly.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I guess I'll just play then until I feel that I've improved in some slight way and then come back, I guess.
Hmm. And also, if you are planning on getting next one probably download Place TV because it's much more easier to see your clicks and everything.
Okay, so I just think my roommate's alarm is going off in the background. Apologize about that. So it just automatically downloads my games from like a first-person VOD to where you can see my clicks and
Hmm.
stuff.
Yep.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, all right, well, cool stuff. I really appreciate it, man.
All right. See you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
Hmm.
Bye.